Now that we've defined a function, let's look at function notation. If I have the symbolism f of x is used to represent the output y. So if I were thinking about a graph, this would mean the input x produces the output y, and you'd have the ordered pair x, y. So we read f of x to mean the output y associated with the input x. In the example I have for you, f of x is negative x squared minus x minus 5. And you're asked to find f of negative 2, f of 0, and f of 6. And the WebAssign disclaimer is, if an answer is undefined, you type in undefined in all caps. Okay, so let's do f of negative 2 first. F of negative 2 means that each input x becomes negative 2. So in my formula, I would write negative parenthesis negative 2 close parenthesis squared minus negative 2, so parentheses around the negative 2 again, minus 5. When you click in a box and no calc pad appears, that's an indicator that you must clean up or simplify your answer. In order of operations, the exponents come first. So I'll square the negative 2 before I multiply by the negative 1, and I'll have negative 4 minus negative 2 is plus 2 minus 5. And from left to right, I would end up with negative 4 plus 2 minus 5, or negative 2 minus 5, or negative 7. And because I didn't have a calc pad pop up, that's what goes in my box. Okay, similarly, f of 0 will be negative 0 quantity squared minus 0 minus 5. Again, I'm letting x equal 0 throughout the formula, which gives us a value of negative 5. And lastly, in this example, f of 6, negative 6 quantity squared minus 6 minus 5 will be negative 36 minus 6 minus 5, or negative 36 minus 11, or negative 47. Now, if the calc pad appeared, I actually would have been able to stop at a much earlier stage. And if you had the calc pad, it's a much happier place, okay, because you don't have to simplify as much. But this is also testing to see if you know your arithmetic order of operations. For our second example, it says if a is a positive real number, find the following values for the given function. So our function is g of x equals 16 times x squared, and we wish to evaluate g of 1 over a. Here's the way I like to teach this to my students. Think about the parentheses around the x as sort of being a blank. Okay, the x is your independent variable, and what you're doing is taking the independent variable, squaring it, and multiplying by 16. So it doesn't really matter what's in the parentheses, you're going to square it and multiply it by 16. So when I see g of the quantity 1 over a, then I think it's 16 times 1 over a quantity squared. And in this particular case, you do have to type symbols, so anytime you're typing symbols, the calc pad will pop up, and you do not have to simplify your answer at all. So I'll type it in as 16 times the quantity 1 over a squared. In contrast, part B is 1 divided by g of a. So this will be 1 divided by what g of a represents. And g of a is the output of g of x associated with x equals a. So I would substitute in a for x, and I would get 16a squared. Okay, moving right along, g of the square root of a, and notice my emphasis on of is when I see g parenthesis. That tells me to read the problem and insert what follows the parenthesis until I see the close parenthesis. So open, close, whatever's in between those is your input. So g of the square root of a is 16 times the quantity square root of a squared. Again, you don't have to simplify anything. You can if you want to. But if you make a simplification error, it's still an error. So I would caution you to leave things unsimplified when you can, when you're using WebAssign. Lastly, part D in this example is the square root of g of a. So this means the square root of the value g of a, which will be 16a squared. So the answer is the square root of the quantity 16a squared.